Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, I'm calling our first legislative body meeting to order at 3:15 with the violence of my water bottle. So first up is going to be roll call. Please let me know if you're here. Parliamentarian Adams. Here. Communications Director Bradley.
Here.
Treasurer Geary.
Here.
Chief of Staff Brasinger is excused for today. President McLaughlin.
Here.
Vice President Peterson is here. Graphic Design Coordinator Pugh.
Here.
Recording Secretary Steiner.
Here.
DEI Chair Williams.
Here.
Senator Bell. Here. Senator Brown is excused and will be made a Senator at Large today with your votes. Senator Cebulski.
Here.
Senator Dixon. Senator Fedor. Do we have an excuse for Senator Fedor? Okay. Senator Fontero.
Here.
Senator Harris. I'm pretty sure he graduated, but he was still on the list. So, and Senator Mahone.
Here.
Huge. All right. Next up is the approval of the minutes. But huge news, we don't have any minutes because this is our first meeting, so we don't have to approve anything. Next is the approval of the agenda. Since some of you haven't done approval of the agenda before, President McLaughlin's going to explain a little bit about how to do it.
Hi everybody, first off, welcome to our first legislative body meeting. Super excited, also very excited for all the people who are senators to be here. Very simple. This is what the agenda we would like to bring to you all today. We're going to ask for a vote, we're going to need a motion to approve, a second, and then we'll have discussion, and then you can all, or we won't really need discussion because it's the agenda, but we'll give you the option to, and then we'll vote if we can proceed.
You don't vote. You just motion to approve it twice. Okay, so with that, do we have a motion to approve this week's agenda?
Motion to approve this week's agenda.
What?
I just made a motion, but you talked over it.
Well, you have to raise your hand. Thank you. We have a motion to approve from Senator Mahone. We have a second. Senator Cebulski seconds. The agenda is approved. Next, we have appointing of 2 Senator at-larges. President McLaughlin's going to explain why we're doing that.
Hey all. So there, neither of them were able to get me a video for this, but Ray Brown, for those who don't know, was a senator last year, and is a senator this year. However, they were not aware that they had a class during our legislative body meetings. They're very interested in continuing to work with us, and they've always been very good at keeping up with the requirements of SGA. I personally think it's a no-brainer, but so I would like to give Ray Brown this Senator-at-Large position. For those who don't know, Senator-at-Large will have the option to miss out on our legislative body meetings, but is still required to attend their necessary committee meetings and perform their office hour. There's also Alexis Feisel, who was last year's graphic design coordinator. She did not rerun for the position. However, considering her time as graphic design coordinator and her continued interest in the organization, I would also like to request you all to allow me to appoint her as well as a senator at large. That's my pitch.
All right, so do we have anything to discuss about either of them being appointed? Okay, so we will do this by majority vote. Anybody approving Senator Ray Brown to be Senator at Large Ray Brown, please raise your hand now. Any opposed? Any abstentions? And with a 5-0 vote, Senator Brown is now Senator at Large Brown. We'll do the same thing for Senator Feisel. Any discussion about Senator Feisel being Senator at Large Feisel?
Why did she not rerun?
I think she was originally planning to apply to be the graphic designer again, and then she decided to not do that. And then so it was past the time for her to run for senator elections, and she always wanted to rejoin, but since she can't be a senator this year, instead of running, we were just going to make her a senator at large. Any other discussion? All those in favor of making Senator Feisel Senator at Large Feisel? Any abstentions? Or all opposed? All right, great. Senator at Large Feisel is now set in stone. moving forward, we will have our first open floor. Open floor is when you want to bring in anything that you just want to bring up to the legislative body to talk about during this time, if any of y'all haven't done this before. I have something to share, but does anybody else have anything for our first open floor first? Great.
Because I am proposing that we make committee meetings, we propose the option of making it virtual so that people in the committees, if they can't make it that day, they can still join virtually if they can't get to location or anything. I think it would be beneficial for getting more engagement and things like that, and I think it would be beneficial. And I have another one, but I don't know if you have to.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, my other one was a proposition for social media. I am proposing that we use alternate text in the descriptions for if someone has visual impairments and they're using screen readers. I think that we should, like, they can't read the photos, the screen readers can't read the photos. So I'm proposing that we put alternate text to describe what's in the photos to make us more accessible.
Anything else for this open floor or in response to Senator Dixon? I think that's a great idea, and I think we could definitely figure that out pretty quickly, and we can sort that out with individual heads of committees. As well for the open floor, I just wanted to bring up to the Ledge-Board's attention now that we still have an open spot for President Pro Tempore on Exec Cab. That position is chosen by an anonymous majority vote of our legislative body. So if you think you're going to be interested in that position, start thinking about it now, because we're going to do that vote on the 23rd once all of our freshman election candidates are in. I'm just going to go over what the position is a little bit, just so you guys can gauge whether or not you're interested. So after the majority vote, this person would then maintain all of their senatorial voting rights. This is the only Exec Cab member that does so. And this position is responsible for chairing the Student Innovation Committee, as well as tracking meeting attendance and office hours of all of the Student Government Association members. And then they complete 5 office hours a week. So those are the main responsibilities, and then if you think you're interested in that, we will be holding that election at our Ledge-Bod meeting on the 23rd. Anything else for the first open floor? All right. Then we will move on to reports of our executive cabinet. First up, President McLaughlin.
Okay. For those, I think you all probably know at this point, I'm Kyle. I'm your president for this year. Really, really excited to have you all here. It's been a minute since we've had legislative body. It's been kind of me and Dylan and the exec cab all summer, so it's good to see you all again. So I'll just start off by saying fall elections are open. Some of you are here who I assume are currently running, which is awesome to see. Thank you for coming. Elections will be closing the 11th, and then that afternoon, election applications will be closing the 11th, and then we'll have elections open that afternoon for the next week, so that we can swear you all in after that's all done. If you know anybody, please get them involved. Please let them know that elections are possible. Get ready to start campaigning. Really excited to see that. So I'm sure you'll hear more about it and see more posts about it. But we already have, I believe, 13 applications, which is huge for the timing. Way more than it was last year. So I'm really looking forward to what we can get accomplished this year. So we also will have formal senator training, which I wanted to make sure people were aware of. We gotta iron out when exactly that'll happen, likely after fall voting is done, so we can get in this new set of senators with you all. But that'll just go over some of the responsibilities. We want to make it a multi-day thing. We'll pick out a time, and you all can come in for sessions for that. Just wanted to let you guys know that that's on the horizon, and take this time to say thank you so much for being here.
All right. As for my report, on top of making this PowerPoint pretty and painting gorge, I also updated the agenda template, the Ledge-Bod minutes, and the exec cab minutes because they didn't look as good as they do now. So now they look better and they're a little bit more organized. As well for my report, over the summer, Kyle and I started meeting with community engagement, and we are interested in doing a couple different things with them. One, we'd like to, we're working on trying to get the space across from the community garden and just a little bit more cute, like the little smoking area. We want to potentially add a mural over there. We want to put in furniture. There's extra string lights and stuff, so we just want to make that another outdoor space. And then as well, we're talking to community engagement for potentially doing a community service week in the fall before Pioneer Community Day that we do annually in the spring. So if anybody is interested in that, please talk to me. And then if you have any suggestions for organizations that we could work with, we would love to do that before we meet with community engagement again. Or if any of you are interested in joining us for that meeting, that would be great. As well, we've been talking this summer about starting back up a food or culinary ad hoc committee. So if anybody's interested in doing that, and I know that you are, so you better talk to me about it, and then we can hopefully start that back up and make some movement there as well. And then also, if I emailed you about your committee assignments, please email me back with your preference, or I'm going to put you in a committee that you don't want, and you're going to be mad. So please let me know what you're interested in. And then finally, for my report, this room is ours for the semester. So we're not going to move around anymore. Our LegBod meetings will be in here every Monday. And I think that's it for my report. So Chief of Staff Graysinger isn't here. So Parliamentarian Adams.
Yes, hi everybody. So just for a little bit of clarity on what my role is, as the parliamentarian, I am basically keeping track of all of the constitutions for all of the clubs here on campus. So any changes or edits that go into a club name, whether that be within the amendments or how it's run, or even just down to the name, that all comes to me and Rules Committee when that is formally initiated. And then we vote on those changes to then bring to Ledge Body, and then Ledge Body votes on those changes to then make them into action. My big project is that, last year I came into this position with 2 months left into the school year, so there's still a lot of things that I'm learning and figuring out. But essentially, my big project for this year is to make whatever is on PointSync match what is in the SGA office, because the cabinets in the SGA office of active and inactive clubs are real messy. A lot of stuff has not been updated. There are some documents in there from 2007, 2008. So that's essentially my big project for this year, is I want to make that all look neat and presentable and updated so that next year's cabinet can have a fresh, clean slate to go off of. So that is my big mission, but again, I'm very excited for this year, excited to get to know all of you and help make this school better. So that's it.
Our next report would be Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Chair Williams.
Hello. Yeah. This week I attended the Gen Z Town Hall live stream watch party at the YWCA, and tomorrow I will be meeting with Tessa, for like a DEI check-in, and am actively contacting the Pittsburgh Cultural District about possibly providing performances for the Multicultural Festival. So, be on the lookout.
They won't snap.
I love the snaps. I started something.
Recording Secretary Steiner.
I have nothing to report other than me arranging for UBU and them to be here. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Everyone say thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Treasurer Geary.
Alright, hey everyone. So this past week we handled our first round of allocations, which we'll be voting on later. So very excited about that. I also took the time to update the SGA ledger, which is the one that's accessible through Sales PointSync page. So now it's all pretty and nice, like our presentations and our new templates. Additionally, I am reopening the COPA recording rights issue, and so and forming an ad hoc committee for that. So if anybody's interested, please come see me after the meeting, and we can talk about it. But other than that, that's all.
All right, comms director Bradley.
Hello, so some of the things that I've done so far this semester is I've updated our social medias, I've made things more, visually accessible. For the most part, I've got some more, notes, thank you for that, can't wait to do that. But we've made some changes, we've made it more interesting to look at, I just want more involvement from our student body, and I think we're getting engagement with that. I've opened back up and scheduled training for our SGA podcast, so we can bring that back as well, just to bring on some more student guests and involvement. And overall, my goal is to have the student body be able to access our social medias and know about our campus when they see it.
All right, graphic design coordinator Pew.
Hi, I'm your graphic designer. Basically, you come to me anytime you want anything made ever. But there's a process for that, and that is due to this beautiful thing I made, which is a creative read. So it is a Google form. You can find it in the executive cabinet Google Drive, which should be accessible to everyone.
It's accessible to the exec cab, so if you're interested in something, we're in the process of putting it on Point Sync, so that will happen soon, so everybody can access it. But right now, talk to an exec cab member, and they can get you a link for it.
Like Dylan said, we're trying to set it up on Point Sync, which will happen super soon, as soon as I have time to do it. But that is in the process of the work. So right now it's on Google Form, it will eventually be on Point Sync, so it's easier to access, and I get notifications for it. Because the issue with the Google Forms right now is whenever someone submits it, I don't see when they submitted, so people have to shoot me an email whenever it's and there's things inside the creative brief that will give me your point of contact, so I will personally be in contact with you. Outside of fun graphic design things, I've also been in contact with IT department a lot, because a lot of students have been getting kicked out of their Wi-Fi and basically have been getting locked out and have no way of getting back in unless they either call IT, which is what I've been doing. They hate me. You can either call IT, ask them to unlock your account, they'll ask you some security things, whatever. Or you personally show up to their office, which I know not everyone is able to do all the time. Hence, all the phone calls. But I've also been emailing them, and first off, none of them were replying, so that was a whole thing at first. Because they would reply to my first message and then stop replying altogether, even after sending multiple follow-ups weeks apart. That's been fun, so I went straight to the VP. He's been great. Everyone that I did get in contact with has been talking relatively consistently, which is rare, but very good. And I'm trying to get in the works, I don't know if I'm going to do it yet, but I'm trying to personally create a resource IT guide, so students could go to the IT guide, see what their problem is, and it's kind of like a directory in your hands. Then if the resource guide doesn't handle it, then they go to IT, and that's supposed to help with decreasing an influx of tickets, especially with students creating so many tickets because they stopped responding. Who did that? Well, yeah, no, they know me by name a little too well. Love our IT department, but we are in the process of adding things to make it better. Also, I did not say this, but the solution to the Wi-Fi thing, it's not ideal, but we are going to have people register their devices to the network, so it's recognized and not seen as multiple sign-in attempts. Because basically what keeps happening is people, especially if you have multiple devices, so your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, whatever, all of those are recognized as basically tally marks. And if you get to a certain number of those, it'll lock you out of the Wi-Fi altogether. So the only way to fix that is registering your devices so it stops tallying up and you stop getting locked out. And that's all.
Thank you, graphic design coordinator Q. Since we don't have a president pro tempore, we will move on to reports of our standing committees. I know our committees are not meeting yet, so there might not be, and we don't have them all assigned, so there might not be a lot to report on. But we'll go through them just in case there is. Parliamentarian Adams, is there anything for rules?
Nothing that I haven't said already, just when that rules committee gets formed, we will start with that big old project of making sure
And then for student innovation, obviously there's nothing to report on with them until we have a PPT. So they will start up after our PPT is chosen on the 23rd. Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee.
Only that we have, like, plans.
All right. Yay, plan.
Plans.
All right, moving forward, we will go to reports of senators. Is there any reports of senators this time? Senator Mahone.
So, I cleaned out the fish tank a little bit. It was very badly neglected over the summer. And anyway, I'm gonna need people to start taking shifts with that, and I'm going to teach people how to do it if they don't know already.
Fish committee.
Yeah. We honestly, probably.
That's great. Ad hoc fish committee.
That's all I have to say for the time being.
Any other reports from senators? Senator Dixon?
Really quick, I am doing a lot of work in accessibility, so if you have any ideas on what I can make more accessible, what I can, complain to them over and over again until they make it more accessible, let me know. I already have a lot of ideas, but if you think something needs improved, something could be better, let me know, and I can talk to the right people and see what I can do.
All right, thank you, Senator Dixon. Is there any other reports for senators? That's fine. I just want to make it said right now. Last year we had a big issue with senators not having reports, including myself. It's obviously our first meeting back, so it's totally fine that not everybody has something right now. But just note that, like, in the future, we'll expect you to hopefully have at least something to report on. It's okay if you don't all the time, but hopefully bring something into the LegBot meetings. If we don't have any other reports, we will move forward to old business. And great news, there's no old business, so we're going to move right into new business, which there is a lot of. This might be a process for voting that you guys haven't done before. So just to sum it up, we can talk about it more if you're a little confused. We're gonna motion, and then a second motion, and then we'll discuss if there's any discussion, and then we'll do a majority vote. So the first thing that we have is the Forensics Intelligent Criminal Justice Club Constitution, and I believe there's some people here to talk about that. So I will pull that up now, and they can introduce themselves and tell you more.
Yes, so we have, I have worked with these two gentlemen, this is Juan, this is Dante. Yes, who are starting the club, the Forensics Intelligence Criminal Justice Club. I will yield the floor to them to tell you more about it.
Well, hello. The FICC, basically, it is geared towards people within the, what's the word?
Forensics, Intelligence, and Criminal Justice. So my major is criminal justice. My double major in tech intelligence and national security. So in a court experience, forensics, intelligence, and criminal justice is combined in a trial. So the reason we opened this club is because I wanted people in that concentration to be more practical about what they're learning, but also bring in other majors and people that don't necessarily take criminal justice and want to know or want to experience how it is to be in a courtroom and learn about the criminal justice system, know the intricate parts and different things about forensics, intelligence, criminal justice, how probable cause works, and learning how you can conduct yourself and, your basic rights.
Yeah, essentially put everything you learn in a classroom into, in the play. So we would be doing mock trials. We actually have a trial to start off with if everything gets approved. It is a murder trial to start off with. We do want to stay away from more sexual violence and all that.
Because
We want it to
it's
be a little
subject and
sensitive
things like that.
subject.
But this club also teaches people to know how to have arguments with evidence, how to have conversations, go back and forth, not emotionally, but with facts, and know how to portray yourself and know how to have passionate views, but saying it to a group of people without demeaning them or badgering them. So this teaches you how to handle different things. So that's why we created this club, and hopefully it's appealing to you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here to tell us more
Of
about your
course,
club.
thank you for having us.
Of course, thank you. So with that all being said, do we have a motion to approve the Constitution for the Forensics Intelligence Criminal Justice Club? All right, Senator Dixon, I saw your hand first. Do we have a second? Senator Sapolsky, awesome. Do we have any discussion over this Constitution? All right, with that, we will take it to a vote. All those who approve of this Constitution, please raise your hand. All opposed? Any abstentions? All right, even though Robert didn't raise his hand. The Constitution for the Forensics Intelligence Criminal Justice Club is approved. Yay.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, thanks for having us and have fun.
We appreciate your time, guys.
Thanks.
Good luck with the rest of the meeting.
All right, moving forward, we have a name change and a Constitution update for the Soul Tap Club. So we will move to that, and I will yield the floor to Parliamentarian Adams to share more.
Yes, so we have a tap club, or we had a tap club that then went into inactive status, but it is getting revived, and the name is being changed from PP Tap Club to the Soul Tap Club, like the soul of the foot. Essentially, the overall premise is the same for weekly tap classes, learning more about technique, musicality, overall composition, but also about the history of tap dance. This is with the hope that if they can get to a place where they have enough members, that they can request tap boards for funding, so that there's more places for them to dance as opposed to just the tap studio that is in the basement of the GRW. So yeah, that's essentially what it's reviving of this club, essentially.
All right, thank you, Parliamentarian Adams. Do we have a motion to approve the Constitution and name change of the Soul Tap Club? Senator Balfe, I saw your hand first. Do we have a second? I'm not going with you. Senator Fortero, you already did one. Thank you for seconding that. Do we have any discussion for this Constitution? Any discussion? Riley?
Is this the only tap club that we have?
Yes.
I think so.
I think that makes it a really good name then.
Yes. Thank you for that important note. Senator Balfe.
Well, it was better than silence.
Is there any more discussion for the Constitution? All right. With that being said, we will move to a vote. All those who vote to approve the name change and Constitution of Soul Tap Club, please raise your hand. Wonderful. Any of those that oppose? All right. Any abstentions? All right. Awesome. And with a vote of 5-0, the Soul Tap Club and Constitution and name change is approved. Moving on, I'm going to give Kyle the floor because we have a new resolution that solidifies some of our vice chair positions and gives them a small stipend. So I will have Kyle explain more on that.
Okay, yeah, so, like Dylan kind of already said, the idea behind this is kind of just to give more of an incentive for some of our senators' involvements. Each of our standing committees has a coinciding executive cabinet to run them. However, obviously, they have their own responsibilities in addition to this, and so each of them is allowed to pick a vice chair, except for in the communications committee, where the graphic designer is that vice chair. What this basically does is sort of solve some of that wish that I was hoping for to get more incentive for a senator involvement, and also solves the problem we had in previous administrations of not having a line of succession when executive cabinet members step down. It gives a $50 stipend to the vice chairs of each of our standing committees with the exception of communications. And for communications, it creates the stipended position of associate or assistant communications coordinator, who will act as the president pro tempore, or the chair pro tempore of the communications committee. So they would fill the vice position if the graphic designer were to take that role, or the chair position if for some reason neither of them are able to fulfill that role. It gives all of those positions $50 a semester, not a huge stipend, but we'll start somewhere. And I specified specifically in this bylaw that it is only in effect until the end of this school year, so that future student government iterations can decide if this works out, and if it doesn't, we leave it. It shouldn't last any longer. Yeah, I stayed up late to get this done. Ran it with Arden, so we think this should all look well. But obviously, I don't get to make that decision. So I would like to bring this to you. We have a lot of stuff we want to work on this year. We already did a lot more than I was expecting. So I think it would be very beneficial for us to have people who can put in the extra time. I should say, any of these vice chairs is now expected to have an additional office hour as permitted through the bylaw. That's for you all to decide though, so I will let you do your legislating.
Do we have a motion to approve resolution bylaw 9092024?
I actually have a question,
You have to motion it before you discuss.
but it'll affect my vote.
Okay, but you're not voting yet, you're just motioning it, and then it's motion, second,
To do it in.
motion, second, discuss, vote.
Next to it goes over Robert's rule.
Come to senator training, you'll get it.
I already knew about that, I just was like, I don't know when I'm supposed to ask this.
No, we have to motion, second it, then we'll discuss, and then it'll come to a vote. So do we have a motion to approve this bylaw? Senator Dixon. Do we have a second for this bylaw?
I second it with the caveat that I think we should probably discuss first, because it doesn't make much sense to do it
I
this
don't
way.
make Robert's rules, I just follow them. Thank you for the second, Senator Vogt. Now we will bring it to a discussion.
Okay,
Senator Montero.
are names supposed to be put in a constitution? I thought that names weren't supposed to be put in.
Is there a name?
I swear I saw a name, hold on, let me pull it up. But I was talking
Robert is the only name I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, the Robert's rules is like its own.
No, yeah, I know.
I don't think there's a name in it,
Yeah.
but you
Oh,
are
wait,
right, there shouldn't be any names
I
in
could
it.
be really dumb.
I mean,
Then I'm just really dumb. Never mind. That
You're
was
not
my only
dumb.
question.
You're not dumb, but there are no names, and you're right
Okay.
that there aren't supposed to be any.
yes.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any more discussion? Senator Dixon?
In theory, could a person going for vice chair also run for president or pro tempore?
Yeah, so that's actually something, so specifically in the bylaws, people are not allowed to hold multiple positions at once. And so that was something that I've already discussed with our executive cabinet, that anybody who runs for president pro tempore and wins will no longer be able to fill the role of one of these vice chair positions, or the assistant communications coordinator. So yeah, if you are more than welcome to still run, but if you become president pro tempore and want to become a vice chair, you're gonna have to pick one or the other. And I would assume I know which one you would pick.
Is there any more discussion? If not, we will take resolution bylaw 9092024 to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. All right, all opposed? Any abstentions? And with 5-0, with no abstentions, resolution bylaw 9092024 is approved. Yay, and now we get $50 stipends, thanks.
Not all of you, not all of you.
Not all of you, not all of you. You have to fight for it.
$50.
We put you in a ring, I forgot to add that addendum, we put you in a ring because of the
Already voted on it.
wait till the second time. Alright, and then lastly, for new business, I will hand the floor to our wonderful treasurer Gary, for fall 1 allocations.
Alright, hello everybody. So last week, the Finance Committee, met
The temporary
the
finance.
temporary finance committee, met to go over our fall 1 requests and allocations. We wound up with a total of 17, technically 16 requests, because, club you'll see is not bolded there. That is because they only requested holding account things, and so therefore we're not actually requesting funds from us. We have granted 16 organizations funding for the fall 1 period, with a total of $5,021.72 of our $10,000 budget for this funding period.
All right, anything else you'd like to add? All right, so do we have a motion to approve the allocated $5,021.72? Thank you, Senator Balfe. Do we have a second? All right, Senator Dixon, thank you. Do we have any discussion about the allocation before we bring it to a vote? All right, that being said, do we have anybody voting to approve $5,021.72 for fall funding allocations? Please raise your hand now. All right, any opposed? Any abstentions? Awesome, with a vote of 5-0, we have approved $5,021.72. Yay. All right, moving on from new business, we have our second open floor. Does anybody have anything for our second open floor?
This is a general question about my position, so I didn't know if it was like wait till after the meeting thing. I thought we covered it during training, but is my position a voting role? Okay, thank you.
No, you vote in comms committee, you do not vote in ledge body.
I'm gonna write that down, thank you.
Anything else? Senator Quintero.
I ran last year for this. I don't have to reapply, do I?
For what?
I ran last year at the end of the year.
For senators?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
You're
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Senator Bell?
What is the open position?
President Pro Tempora. If you were listening earlier, no, I'm just kidding. They have 5 office hours a week. They track all of the meeting attendance of all of the members of the SGA, all of the office hours attendance and completion of the SGA, as well as run the Student Innovation Committee. Senator Dixon.
Do vice chairs maintain their ability to vote?
In legislative body and in the committees itself, yes, they will.
I'm not a senator or anything. I just have a question. Are there any specific requirements on being president pro tempore? Yeah.
Are there any what, sorry?
Like requirements?
Just what I just said to Senator Balfe, which was the 5 office hours a week, running Student Innovation Committee, and tracking the meetings and office hours of the SGA members.
Okay.
Oh, and they maintain their senator voting rights in the legislative body meetings. Senator Mahone.
Is it pronounced President Pro Tempore or Pro Tempore?
I say tempore, but I will not judge you if you say tempore.
I noticed you were saying that, and I thought it wasn't right, and then I realized I don't actually know. So that's why I'm asking. Okay, does anybody know?
I said tempore because tempore was said to me first. I'm not the dictionary. Anything else? President Blockman.
I'm going to use this as an opportunity to ramble on again. But yeah, you should all run for President Pro Tempore. You should all run for these other positions. You should all put in way more effort than this organization will give you stipends, money for. Yeah. We've already gotten a lot accomplished already in like over the summer. Starbucks isn't in Point Perk anymore, which was not something I thought was going to happen. Yeah. We have a lot of ability to push things this year. We really want to work with the counseling center, and we're working with Scott Swain, who does athletics and community engagement, and the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging department. We're trying to get our hands in a little bit of everything, and I'm really excited to see what you all do. Please keep coming to meetings. Please, all of you that have come here and showing interest, please run for senators. It's really cool to see you all here, really cool to see you engaged. Also, make sure to thank Giesecke and Keeley for being our advisors, to thank Dean Jolin for giving us this space, and I assume that's the food we asked for, so make sure to ask.
No, that's not.
That's not? That's a different
I
thing?
think it's a gift just for today. I
Okay.
think it's literally Sarah's candies.
Well, thank you.
Literally just
Thank
brought
you.
you a box of Sarah's candies. That's what I think you did.
All right, is there anything else for our second open floor? Giesecke, did you have something?
Yes, so let me first say thank you. And for those that don't know, my name is Michael Giesecke. I am the Dean of Student Life, and
I'm Keely Sapienza, Interim Director of SAIL.
we are responsible for helping with SGA. I have one request of everybody in the room, okay? My one request is that you fulfill your number one job, which is to be the voice of the students of the university. So your job is not to just say yes to them. That is not your job. Your job is to challenge them. Your job is to question them. That is what we're here to do, right? We all have a role in this organization. Your role is not just to rubber stamp. Your role is not just to say yes, and I'm not saying today's an example of that by any means. I just mean I want you to look at everything that's being done. Why are we giving what we're giving? Why aren't we giving something? Why are we doing what we're doing? Ask those questions. Challenge them on something not getting done. Why is it not getting done fast enough? Why can't we get this person here to come speak to us? You have as much of a responsibility to question and to ask for things to be brought here as does the leadership. And then, of course, if you ever have any concerns, anything that comes up, you're not sure of something, please come find one of us. Our job is to help you all figure out what that is. All right? Thank you all for what you're going to do this year. Thank you.
All right, anything else for our second open floor? All right, if there's nothing else for our second open floor, we will move to announcements. Does anybody have any announcements? All right.
I'll make an announcement.
Okay.
So for comm committee, if you're interested, let me know, reach out to me. I'm more than, looking to get it started and think of who I want on it. And then on top of that, I also am looking for someone to assist me while we do our podcast recordings, if you are available. The time and date is to be announced, but if there are any senators that would like to take on that task so far and be on comm committee, reach out to me.
And if you help Hunter with the podcast, it can be your office
It
hour.
can be, it really can be. And I'm so much fun.
Senator Mahone.
If you help me with the fish, that's also an office hour.
My announcement is please help Riley with the fish.
Just keep the fish alive.
Hey, we have not had any announcement. We haven't had any casualties since early June.
Announcement. The ones that are still alive at this point are probably indestructible.
We had a nice funeral for the old one, though.
That one little neon is still kicking. I'm so proud of him.
My fish-related announcement is that if you guys see the ground feeder guy with like a whole trail of behind it, it's normal. We looked it up.
Much to my chagrin.
Christian.
I just have a fish question.
Okay.
Is the one still pregnant?
I don't think that we have
died.
I'm pretty sure. First of all, this is my first time hearing of a pregnant fish, so that's interesting.
I swear we have.
I don't think so.
I did think that one of the swordtails was pregnant because it was the only female in the tank and it was like kind of swollen. But it's apparently dead now because it's not in there.
All right,
So
well,
that
if
renders
it
the
was
whole thing
pregnant,
moot.
it isn't anymore. Are there any other announcements?
Well, I also want to announce for all those people that are here, we don't usually spend this much time talking about fish.
Sometimes we do though.
Sometimes we do.
can if you want.
We can talk about fish as much as you please. Is there any other announcements? Oh, sorry.
Please join the DEI committee. We want to do a lot of good on campus.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm working with Tessa for their Instagram. We could collaborate.
All right, are there any more announcements? All right, if there are no more announcements, our next meeting will be September 16th, 2024 in this here room at 3:15 p.m. And with that, I adjourn this meeting at 4 p.m.
Rachel.